Hi, Gloria Lybecker here with Healing You. I'd like to share with you a life lesson that I have just recently learned. And what it's around is noticing your own inner pattern to want to do what others do. To not even be consciously aware of it in the moment, but to be so influenced by other people's choices that are in close proximity to you or that you're spending time with. Recently, I've noticed this in relationship with my husband, and I found it fascinating. And yet I had a sense that inside there was this quality of that I was being secretive, that I was being kind of sneaky about when I would make a choice if he didn't make a choice. And I found that just fascinating. So what I did is I reached out to my long-term empathy buddy, and I got a little support around that. Because we all need support in our lives. We all need accompaniment. And so stepping into this container of warmth and care and resonance, I was able to name this experience and discovered that there was no shame or judgment, that I was not meant that way. Instead, there was an acknowledgement around how much I just love complete relaxation. And there was just such a release inside just to be able to name that, to have the freedom to name that. And after a little while, I was able to notice a tension that came up my back and my neck, very much like the hair on the back of my neck standing up, which again, I met with a lot of curiosity and interest. And what was uncovered was this inner belief that someone was going to find me, and then I'd lose my safe haven and my relaxation. And so I went on alert. So what this part needed, even though we'd time traveled to her, was to have the experience of time actually stopping. And when time stopped, then my inner child no longer needed to be monitoring the environment. She could really relax at a cellular level. And there was a recognition that this was not the way that it was when I was a child, most of the time. And so this was revealing to us an unconscious contract, my friend and I. And it went something like this. I, small Gloria, solemnly swear to my essential self that I will steal moments of freedom with small sips and small chips that relax me. I really liked chocolate chips. And I really like salty chips. And I liked sips of drinks that really tasted sweet and smooth and refreshing. But I will steal these moments of freedom in order to make sure that my soul gets to exist in this controlling system where I live. Oh, and just naming this, just naming that, and also I made this contract no matter the cost to myself or those I love. I made it really final. I had tears I was just so deeply touched by my child self wanting to make sure my soul gets to exist. Such a beautiful, beautiful contract. And being with her, though, recognizing my child self, I released her from this contract and I revoked the vow in order to bestow my blessing upon her. For her to have the felt sense that it's not dangerous now. She gets to have the freedom to choose what she eats and what she drinks and where she goes and who she spends time with. And she gets to do this by looking within her own heart and soul rather than looking outside of her to see what others are doing. And that's a huge difference. When this happened, it was as if she took me by the hand and the hand of my empathy buddy And she invited us to come up the tree with her. She had a tree in her backyard as a child, a big fir tree. And she'd climb up to the tippy top, and there were branches that were like a seat. And she'd sit up there with whatever little things she had taken from the house. A lot of saltine crackers and chocolate chips. Those were the favorite things. And just sit up there and enjoy the smell, being in nature, and the wind gently swelling back and forth. It was beautiful. And from there I asked, would you like to come home with me? And she said, yes, she would. And so what we got to do was another thing that she enjoyed as a child, flying. So we took hold of hands and we stepped off into the air. We were able to float, and the wind gently carried us all the way back here to Healing You Sanctuary. And it was just so wonderful, such a surprise to recognize the freedom that can come when we take the time to trust that there is a safe haven that we can be met in with compassionate understanding, and we can relax and enjoy that moment and carry it with us. If you're seeking accompaniment to support you to find a way that you can relax at a cellular level, I encourage you, reach out to me at healingyoursanctuary.com. Thanks for being on the journey with me today. Healing you.